statements and stop asking leading questions. Get out of here, motherfucker.
All right, Bricky to the back. We do love you, Bricky, baby. We do. All right, and I got Vibe. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. Ash was next in line, and then Vibe. All right, I think we got everyone here. Israel, it looks like your camera's just taking a second to come into speed.
Does anyone mind if my phone's literally going to die in a couple minutes? If I can ask Israel a question following up on something that Webby had asked earlier.
Sure. I don't know if he's with us yet. It looks like it's Israel. Can you hear us?
Looks like it got worse.
Oh, no. That might be his camera. It's like a weird tech night, is it not? I mean, I feel like the show has been nothing but held up with just tech issues all night.
Not for me, God's beloved.
It happened. It happened to me for about 30 minutes on Pilled. I was on a fucking panel, and it just would not do shit for me.
That sucks. All right,
where did Webby go? I was gonna ask him something.
Webby's got, he always has web issues. That's why it's funny his name is Webby. Let's see, who got booted back? We got Ant back there. Dusty came up. Is Rock E still back there? No, he left. So we've got Ant 5, and then we got Clay and Dashton. Dear Lord, Dashton. Okay.
Is Sarah's cam pixelating for anybody else, or is it just me?
It's just you, bud.
You're just the weird one. All right, Webby's back.
No, her cam is glitching pretty hard for me too. So is her brain.
Israel, are you with us? You try this.
Maybe he needs to update his Chrome.
It's like being at my grandparents' house trying to work out how to use the TV for them.
He said he can hear us in the private chat.
He can hear us. Okay, if you're talking, we cannot hear you.
He should just come back in on his Safari. It's probably better that way.
Yeah, maybe try back in the other way. I don't know. Is your stuff connected? Like, do you have the right mic settings? Make sure you have, because usually Google will say at the top, like, allow these devices to be used on Google. You have to make sure you hit yes. And then when you're in StreamYard, the little wheel at the bottom should have your audio and camera settings. Make sure you have the right settings in.
Maybe he should just do both. He can talk to us from Safari and listen from Chrome.
Can I ask Webby, are you Catholic? No? You're Christian though, right?
Yes, sir.
I was about to say, because my phone's gonna die, so you guys can repeat it to him, I guess, if my phone dies. But I was gonna say, old habits seem to die hard. I'm also a former Orthodox Jew. I'm now Catholic. The Birkat Haminim, the blessing against the heretics, is most certainly instituted directly against Christians very, very early on. There's no doubt about that. I don't know why he would deny that, because he doesn't accept the rabbinic tradition anyways. Not that people should think that Jews have like a particular issue. Oh, I was going to say, Israel, it seems like old habits die hard, man.
We got you.
How so?
Because Birkat Haminim is, I've been through this with the Jesus and the Talmud stuff recently with people. Like, no, that's not the same Jesus. Well, who else would the shit it be? It's obviously talking about Jesus of Nazareth. Even if the rabbis of the 4th century, 5th century get the details wrong or misunderstand Christian theology, it doesn't mean they're not talking about Jesus. They're obviously talking about Jesus. Same thing, I don't know why you would say that Birkat Haminim is generally against heretics. It was specifically instituted to drive heretics, Christians, out of Jewish synagogues and institutions and communities. That's what it was instituted for. So I don't know if you're not aware of that, or if it was
I was not aware that it was establised. No. I mean, nothing I'm going to do is going to stop anti-Semitism. No, honestly, I just did not know about that historical fact.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is, though, like, people need to understand, most Jews know less know about as much about their own history as a duck-billed platypus knows about its history. So like Jews don't get anything about where their own religious ideas come from or how they developed or the history of how they developed at all. Like something to be aware of there. But those things are like, that's why I tell fellow Jews, you know, number one, become Catholic. But number two, if you're going to stay in Orthodox Judaism, at least stop defending some of the crazy shit people have said in the Jewish community over the years. Like, you can just say they're wrong.
I think that was my point. That was my point when you did the translation. Yeah, but you purposely left out the heretic part and tried to use something more favorable.
Not at all. Not at all. I'm not trying to leave anything. I'm just saying that they don't reference Christians outright, and I was not aware of the fact that Ash is saying that they instituted. Yeah, they don't say like end the Christians. They say the heretics, which is a broad term for even people like myself, as I said. But Ash is saying that historically they instituted that blessing against Christians, so that changes things, obviously. But the thing is, Ash, they couldn't possibly condemn the rabbis because then they wouldn't be Orthodox. You know, so it's
correct.
A catch-22 there.
No, but they could say we love our traditions and we want to keep these things. We think this. I've met many modern Orthodox people that say, "Hey, we believe this is the best." Explanations on how to keep the Torah. These are traditions that have passed down, so this is the way we're going to do it. You can do that without affirming like Ruach HaKodesh inspiring the rabbis to what they're saying. You can just say, hey, we think that this is the closest we can get. I know a lot of people that say that.
Which takes me back, which takes me back to my question before. Israel is around the year 5787 is obviously huge and pushed from the very top rabbis as the last day for the temple to be made, right? Which is, funnily enough, October next year. And with everything
that's not at all biblical.
The moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense that the rabbis would try to drive apocalyptic events. I mean, I think in general, people who are trying to push for the apocalypse have some issues, to say the least. But yeah, the Bible never gives a date on any of these things.
Well, modern rabbis have turned the Messiah into like a tech oligarch who's going to like control the world through AI and download Torah into your brains to fulfill biblical prophecy. So I think we've gotten a little bit out of hand there. So I say to my fellow Jews, whoever, I think we know which community is diminishing the God of Israel and which one isn't. Because if you have to chalk up biblical prophecy to AI downloading Torah into your brains, and you have to flying on
you don't believe in God,
El Al Airlines is going to fly you to Israel. That's I think we've gone a little bit far. So
yeah, I mean that's faithless by definition. Or to Yahweh.
So Israel, I wanted to ask you, the only prophet to exist that can write and interpret or dispense the word of God would be Moses in your book?
Well, it's really just in our book that we share that the foundation of the faith is the 5 books of Moses, and Moses is writing by the hand of God saying you cannot add or subtract to these commandments. So that's setting the stage for the religion to develop, that it's not going to involve abolishing the Torah or introducing faith claims that are not Torah based.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's trying to abolish or diminish the Torah in Christianity. It's the foundation of our beliefs. We derive everything that we believe from Jesus, from the Torah and the preceding books up until the New Testament and then into the New Testament. But my question is you kind of deny all the books after the Torah. What makes the Torah so special? What makes Moses as a prophet so special that was the last individual to actually write anything that was inspired or divinely ordained by God, opposed to all the later books, which is far numerous and far more detailed and build upon and expound upon the original?
Right. Well, first of all, what makes him special is that he comes first. Second of all, what makes him special about the nature of his prophecy.
Who comes first?
Again, Moses.
Coming first doesn't make anything more special. I mean, David was a man after God's own heart. So if you want to go up anything, David would be far more special than Moses. You're more so like.
Well, we're talking about the biblical faith. We're talking about God. No, because we're talking about the biblical faith, and the biblical faith is founded in the Torah. So if we're starting from the beginning, the Torah is setting the standard and saying anything that follows this cannot contradicted in any way. No one could add a commandment. No one can tell you that God is someone other than the one revealed in these 5 books.
So
isn't it what he's kind of saying is, I mean, I really respected in your original opening.
I'll read to you what it says in Numbers. It says that Moses was a unique prophet. God says he sees God clearly, not in a vision, not in a riddle. But
Wrong mic 5.
Moses saw.
Well, nobody.
Numbers is perfect, right? So like Numbers is like perfect.
All right, so Moses saw God directly and communicated with him directly. His prophecy was on a different level than other prophets.
Very untrue. Definitely not that of Jesus.
So does God ever change his mind in the Old Testament?
In
the Torah, possibly, does God ever change his mind?
Not to him.
He definitely.
I'm asking the rabbi.
Probably. You literally have 5 books that you believe in. I believe in 66 books, and off the top, I can tell you that God changes his mind in the Torah. Like you got 5 books, bro.
Right, but does Israel believe that? Israel, does God change his mind?
The only. I mean, again, not after the Torah is the final word. That's the whole point. Within the Torah, there's a slight shift that comes to mind when God first says.
Doesn't it say in Deuteronomy that Moses says another prophet will come that's like me?
I want to ask a question.
Others, him shall you heed.
Before anybody asks another question, Michael with a big 5 says snakes. And I apologize, Michael, I missed this. Snakes are just living out their telos. Why you got to do them dirty? Because they got no limbs. Poor snakes. No mercy here. And speaking of donos, chat, you are currently sitting at 3 out of 10 on your dono goal, and you have approximately 13 minutes left to do it. Here in approximately 3 minutes, if you don't start pushing in, I'm going to make the panel do a grift break for all of you, and we're going to stop this amazing content and conversation going. So you know what to do. You know how to fix it. Don't make me do what I got to do. Back to you. I apologize.
It just seems like you're cherry picking when you want to believe something and when you don't. Because if God changes his mind, it seems like you're putting God in a box and saying he can't do this. He can't change anything.
Well, I mean,
like God can do whatever
God
he
established, wants. Of course, but God established that he completed the law and that he is one God and that we shouldn't change anything about that. So if that's, and he said anyone who comes later on, even if he's a prophet and even if he performs miracles, but contradicts this original revelation, you should not listen to him. And that's false.
That he changes his mind. He's not.
Where does he change his mind?
He changes his mind about Sodom and Gomorrah, right? He changes his mind about the flood.
They don't believe that. The first 5 books of the Bible are the only thing that they believe. And this says the man that thinks that God sent his son down here to have sex with women. So this is the man that thinks that God is a horny Zeus. You're never going to get through to him.
God didn't send them. They came against God's will, and God viewed that as a sin. And again, you know, there are even interpretations that those are not literal sons of God, but powerful human beings, because the word for God refers to powerful beings. So it's possible they weren't literal divine beings, but God didn't send them. God actually was upset about that, and he shortened the human lifespan according to the text.
Yeah, I just don't understand why this one thing has to be like infallible, like this one passage that you have, like this can't change, like this one part. Even for me, I'll make a concession. Like even as a Catholic, when Jesus says the only way is through me, right? I often push back on my own religion and say, well, it doesn't say like even that you have to accept him while you're alive. Why can't Jesus come to you after you die and say, accept me, this is the truth, you were a good person your whole life? So I'm not going to put God in a box, but it seems like I think God can do whatever he wants, but it seems like you don't think that. You think God is restricted by these rules set in the first 5 books of the Torah for some reason.
God is not restricted. We're restricted. We're restricted by the rules that God put on us, saying you need to follow these rules if you want to be righteous and you want to live and you want to be blessed. That's exactly what it says. So we're under the law and we have to follow it.
A lot of people who are atheists are blessed a lot more than us, bro.
This doesn't
Honey,
disprove
hold
it.
on. I want to, and I want you to chime in on that, Azrael, because I'd like to know why. But in the meantime, the chat is doing what it needs to do best. Texas Bully Mom sending in the Big Ten says 6 more. Yes, and 6 more actually just turned to 5 more because Fourth Wiseman came in with the Big Ten, and he says God doesn't change his mind. God is conscious beyond anything that anything or anyone can describe. Your cults are brainwashing machines on fast spin cycle. The paradigm is broken. Wakey. Would anyone like to chime in on that night? It looks like Israel's got booted somehow. So we'll wait for him to come back in. Yeah, go ahead.
He's absolutely right. God does not change his mind. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. But he does change his direction. He does change his imperative and his narrative for us. We can look at the Old Testament where slavery was condoned at one point, but it was slowly more and more restricted more as time went on, even to today where Christians led the abolition of slavery through the Western expansion. So he doesn't change his mind. He's always the same, but
Genesis 6:6. And the Lord regretted that he had made man on the earth.
And more Christian cope.
And why would God change direction or whatever? Like, he already knows the direction he needs to go into. He's all knowing.
So I don't know if any of you guys do programming. So when you're programming things or when you're expounding upon something, just in general, you have to do stuff in a certain way until the code expands. And then there's more knowledge and you have to operate with the code on a bigger level. So it's not that he's changing his mind. It's that we're changing and evolving as individuals. We were not as knowledgeable and more rudimentary. Even 100, 200 years ago, we didn't have a vast knowledge of God, of Christianity, of the Bible. Even further that to the point
Hold on.
not be widely distributed in a language that people could understand. So the world changes and then God changes after.
God,
but he doesn't change.
Sarah, I've reached my 3-hour mark.
Sure. Everybody else shut up.
Sarah, I've reached my 3-hour mark. I really appreciate the opportunity. It's been a blessing.
Absolutely.
I pray that we all come together in peace, and I pray God, whoever he is, awakens us and brings us unity in him. So God bless and have a wonderful night.
Yes, thank you so much, Israel. We appreciate having you.
Okay.
We look forward to more.
All the best, everyone.
And while he's making his exit, Michael came into Big Five, says, I don't know. I can describe it quite a bit. Maybe, possibly. And Iotin sending in the Big Ten and says, still here. Thank you for the conversation, everyone. Yes, thank you so kindly to everyone hanging out and doing your thing. You've got 7 minutes left or else we just end it all. Do you want me to disconnect on my end for you, Israel?
Yeah, I'm trying to end my stream, but it's not really.
I can do it. I got you.
You can end my stream for me?
Yep. If you're watching over on Israel's side and you'd like to continue